Welcome to the Eviva Experience, a podcast for women facing the emotional and psychological fuckery of midlife. Hi there, lady. My name is Sarah Tuckett, and I am a somatic psychotherapist and dance movement therapist based in Brisbane. Let's get on with the show. Hello, and today I am going to be talking to my friend Beth Britton, who is a specialist in learning difficulties and learning disabilities in the field of neurodiversity. And we're going to talk about all things related to ADHD in midlife and what you can do to help yourself. Hey, Beth, how you doing?
Hey, Sarah, I'm very well, thank you.
So tell me, who do you work with and how did you get into this?
Sarah, so my background is in teaching, and I burnt out after 20 years of teaching, but still wanted to pursue something to do with helping people in the field of education. And I came across a program, it's a Canadian program that helps people with learning difficulties or learning disabilities, helps strengthen different parts of the brain. So that was based on the concept of neuroplasticity, the fact that our brains aren't fixed and can be changed. And I trained in that program over in Canada, came back to Australia. We set up a program. We started off with a group of adults, actually, and they happened to be all adult males. And then it's gradually, we started accepting children and teenagers and then more women as well. That program unfortunately closed down, and I decided to do some of my own work, continuing on in that field of helping people with learning disabilities and learning difficulties, just on a one-to-one basis. So yeah, and I absolutely love it because I love those one-on-one sessions, and I can incorporate some of my therapy training in those sessions as well. So I love the
Excellent.
combination.
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but I'm seeing this big wave of people being diagnosed now in later life with ADHD. So people from their 30s and upwards. Are you seeing more women?
Yes, Sarah, definitely. And I've noticed that a lot of the women say that, they've gone through life just coping, and as you've mentioned, it's been very things like ADHD have been very underdiagnosed in women because women are good at just coping and putting up a front and just saying, yeah, no, I'm okay. Oh yeah, you want me to do that bit of work in the classroom? Yep, I know I can do that. And meanwhile, underneath is struggling so much, and then talking of children here, they go home and just get home and just collapse at the end of the day because they've been
Mm.
putting up this front all day long.
Yeah.
And so then as life proceeds to teenage years and young adulthood, as you say, mostly women start to realize, oh, there's something not quite right here. And so they decide to maybe talk to someone about it, a GP, and that's when they then get onto the road of getting a diagnosis.
Yeah.
And often they find, wow, that they've had ADHD all along.
Yeah. I'm
Mm.
also seeing a lot of women, in fact, a close friend of mine, as she's gone into menopause and as the estrogen has dropped away, she has noticed that her ADHD symptoms have gone wild, like it's kind of out of hand.
Yes, okay, that makes sense, Sarah. As I say, especially women, like we sort of put up with things, and we keep coping, and then eventually often there comes a tipping point, or it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. And it sounds like in this case with your friend, it's got to menopause, and that's sort of been the tipping point where everything has come to a head, and yeah, she may be struggling, and then it's all linked. Yeah, the
Mm.
ADHD, the hormone depletion.
Yeah, I was reading that when our estrogen drops, it means we get even less dopamine produced.
Hmm.
And so that's why it seems, well, it actually is that the ADHD is worsened.
Sure,
So
yes. No,
what can women do? Do you know any good sources?
It's very interesting. So I was listening just before Christmas to late night radio, actually, and there was a very interesting woman. Her name is Professor Susan Davis. She's an Australian woman. She is known as an expert in menopause in Australia. She has an amazing website on which you can find doctors who specialize in menopause, helping women with menopause. Not many doctors actually know how to help women through menopause. And so she's trained a lot of doctors around Australia, and you can find the names of the doctors on her website. So I would really highly recommend that for anyone going through menopause. And this woman, yeah, she believes that there are things we can do to help our hormone levels as we go through.
Yeah, you don't have to
menopause.
suffer. You don't have to suffer through this.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just and other general things, Sarah, treating yourself with self-compassion, all the self-care things that I've heard you talk about in your other podcasts. You're finding joy in life, exercise, looking after your good nutrition. Yeah, and just trying to understand yourself, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, what you like, what you don't like, and trying not to have those things undervalued or diminished, because every brain is unique. We know every human is unique, and then every human brain is unique as well. So we all learn in different ways. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. We all have different likes and dislikes.
So it could be their superpower.
Exactly. Yes. That's right.
So what kind of things can they do to make life easier for themselves? I'm not talking about making themselves the same as everyone else and becoming mainstream, because I think neurodiversity can be your superpower.
Well, as you say, I would never push anybody into, if they are happy with their life, I would never push anyone into trying to change themselves. But the people I work with are people who've come to me asking for help. So, for example, someone who maybe struggles with reading, there are brain exercises that we can do to help strengthen the certain parts of the brain that help us read. If someone struggles with maths, there are different brain training exercises that we can do to try to strengthen that weakness. So it's about making life easier for you if you want to. And it's not about trying to make you neurotypical, or trying to make you fit into the school system in the case of children, or into mainstream society. It's just about, if you are open to it, there are ways that you can make your life easier for yourself through brain training exercises.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing. So I'm going to put your email below this podcast. Your website is still in construction. Are there any other people that you could recommend, other kind of internet sources?
Yes, Sarah, I've recently come across an amazing woman. Her name is Emma. She's a speech therapist, but she has an amazing Facebook page called NeuroWild. So Emma herself is neurodiverse, and she just writes some amazing information about her experiences in everyday life when she gets burnt out, when she gets overwhelmed. She writes in a really engaging manner, and she also has at least two, I think it may be three children. They're quite young at the moment. And they are neurodiverse as well. And so she talks about their experiences and their struggles with the schooling system. She's doing some amazing things, trying to get things changed in schools to help neurodivergent children. So yeah, NeuroWild is her Facebook page.
Fascinating. Do you know, it's so cool. I actually see a lot of women who are mothers of neurodiverse children, so I'm sure this will help them as well.
Okay, wonderful.
Beth, thank you so much. That is so much information and so many great things for people to go and look at. Thank you so much. And it's lovely to hear about your experience of helping these people. I
Thank
will
you so
see you
much, Sarah.
soon. Thank
Okay,
you.
see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. I have a question for you. How do you want to feel today? Powerful, playful, or present? Download my free guide, Feel Your Va-Va-Voom in 60 seconds, and find out how. Bye!